Hey guys, I'm here with my robot friend, 2XL, to talk to you guys about arcade games.
I am only here because I have no other choice.
Oh, come on, 2XL. Aren't you excited about showing everybody about the technology that we've been putting into this arcade machine?
You mean a Commodore 64? An 8-bit computer released ages ago in 1982?
Why, of course!
Sigh.
Don't make me reprogram you.
Okay, I'll behave.
Great, so I can get on with the video now?
Affirmative.
I love when he talks like that. Anyways, I want to talk about something a little bit different. Well, I do want to talk about arcade games, but like, when you say arcade games, which ones come to your mind, right? I mean, like, when I was growing up, we go right into like, oh, of course, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade, right? Of course. X-Men arcade, shoot, the list goes on and on. But I don't want to talk about those games, at least not right away. I'd like to talk about something that you don't know about, because then I feel like I really can bring something more to the table. So, there are some good games out there that you probably didn't even know existed, and this one is actually a rare gem that you probably have never even heard of. Well, it's based on the movie Willow. And of course, I used to own the movie, but I lent it to a friend, and he washed it in the laundry. Do you see this face? You know who you are. That's for you. Anyways, the movie stars Warwick Davis as Willow. You know who Warwick Davis is. He was one of the Ewoks in Star Wars. He was in Leprechaun in the Hood. Yeah, don't get me started on that. Maybe someday we'll talk about those movies. But suffice it to say, to be honest, every role that Warwick Davis has played, I say he's done it well. And he's a great actor. And he was a good actor in Willow as well, in which he was, of course, Willow the character, which was a small man that they often refer to as a dwarf. But, dwarves usually are like the bearded guys that are digging deep into the mines. So he's more of a hobbit, and to top it off, they're really farm-like and do lots of farming stuff. So, well, it's a hobbit. I'm sorry, it's just a hobbit. However, hobbits are technically halflings, so I guess it's a halfling. They call him a peck a lot, but I don't think that is referencing an actual creature. So, suffice it to say, he's a small man, right? He has these dreams of being a sorcerer. He doesn't want to be a simple farmer in his life. He wants to do something with his life. And as it turns out, he becomes a key player in saving a young baby named Elora Danon from an evil sorceress named Bavmorda. So that's the movie. Let's talk about the game. For the sake of actually showing everything in the game, I'm going to just go ahead and use as many quarters as necessary, because I don't want to miss things because I had to skip through it and play legitimately. So it is going to look a little like cheating because I'm going to be putting in lots of extra quarters. But I feel like I'd be missing things if I don't actually go all out. So let's get started. Let's play Willow on the arcade. Oh, you want to watch this, right? Here, just... There, that's... There, good, okay. The introduction screen is oddly quiet. Now, that's okay, because when you're in the arcade, there's a lot of different noises going on, all the different title screens are going off, and you hear things left and right, and it's a mess. So, I guess they were just going for a quiet startup screen for the game. That's okay, but it's too quiet, and it's kind of creepy. And then text starts coming up talking about a hot new game that's coming out, but it's talking about the actual arcade game that's right in front of you right now. Why are they advertising a game that I'm already playing or looking at? It just seems oddly misplaced, like they messed up. So anyways, you hear the first and only audio right after that.
Willow.
Willow.
Willow!
Willow.
Willow.
Willow! Well, God. Needless to say, it does bring back some bad memories of Ghostbusters. Okay, so let's start this thing. Even though the game says 2 players, it's like Mario Brothers. You don't get to play at the same time. So it's really just a single player game. Such a tease. So you start out on your journey as Willow. You blast enemies with magic, holding the button in longer to cast different types of spells and often more powerful spells. You can slide across the ground on your stomach and jump higher, which is very important, by holding the up on the joystick when you hit the jump button. As you go through the game, there are several shops where you can buy higher magic as Willow, or a better sword attack as Madmartigan. This is very important. The extra life adds permanent extra health, so you need to get those as quickly as possible. This shop is great. The game is great. I like the idea of the shop, but it also begins with my main gripe about the game. The only way to actually have the money to buy the things is to farm gold from the enemies. But the enemies only spawn for so long, and to make matters worse, there's a time limit. When you run out of time, there goes your quarter. So, for the sake of making sure that I can see all that I can and buy all the things I can, I'm going to blow a lot of coins just to farm up the extra gold. The one thing that confused me for a while was the quest stone, which is supposed to make things appear, and at first I thought that just meant like more money would come out of bad guys, but it actually makes the little sprite guys that were in the movie appear in certain spots of the game, so that they can follow along and attack with you. They're pretty useless, however. So, after defeating the first boss, you get to rescue Madmartigan, and God, look at his face. You know, I really don't like playing as Madmartigan. His attacks, even when powered up, don't travel as far as Willow's. But at the same time, it follows the story of the movie fairly well. This is the scene where Madmartigan had to pretend to be a woman in the bar.
You're no woman.
Now, honey.
Not a woman!
Easy.
Gentlemen, not a woman! Meat luck.
This part on the cart is one of the harder parts of the game, designed to take your quarters. You're under attack from all sides, and if you let a bird get past you, it's going to come in for a second dive that will almost surely hit you or cause you to jump into something. This is the level where you can farm as much gold as you want, killing birds that drop 3 coins, usually 100 to 200 gold per. Oh, and the jump that leads to this checkpoint is ridiculous. It's one of those jumps where you gotta hold the up on the joystick, and then hit the jump button, and then move the joystick over. It's very tricky. You can't just jump over there while holding up and over. No, that doesn't work. You actually have to start the jump vertically before you can push over. Otherwise, you won't jump extra high. It's just so tricky. After this, Madmartigan has to make it through the snow level and kill a dragon. Well, the dragon wasn't in the movie, but I'm not going to complain. It's just a game anyways. Here is the thing that has driven me crazy, though. Do you see those chests over there on the left? I can't figure out how to get over there. It's impossible. Even jumping at the very last second, I just can't do it. So you know what? If anybody else knows how to get over there, please tell me. I challenge you. You know, if you can make this jump or figure this out, tell me, because I can't. I honestly think they messed up something in the programming. Madmartigan became a giant snowball and sledding down a hill. God, believe it or not, that's both part of the movie. I gotta say, this is how a movie-based game should be. They did it. They did it right. You get to a point now where you can pick which character you want to play, and I say Willow all day long. He's just better with his ranged attacks. Because on this level, you've got a 2-headed monster to fight, and you don't want to get close. The final level is so frustrating. Blocks that disappear, and a maze. Yeah, you gotta know which doors to go through. Go through the wrong door, it's back at the beginning. This was designed to take your quarters, period. And later, the jumps that you have to do with Willow are the most ridiculous jumps. They are just barely possible, and it's the only way to progress in the game. Finally, the moment of truth has arrived. The fight with Madmartigan. It really doesn't matter how powered up you are. It's great, it's handy to be powered up, but you need to have the skills to beat her. If you don't have the skills, you're gonna fail. Once she's down to her last 3 health bars, she unleashes the dreaded jumping, shooting pot thing, and you have to time everything just right. This fight comes down to skill. If you've got the skills, you can do it. And that's Willow on the arcade.
Willow.
Willow.
Willow!